It all started when Karen, the infamous neighbor in our HOA community, began blocking my driveway on a regular basis. At first, it was just a slight inconvenience, a car left slightly over the line, forcing me to park further down the street. But as days passed, it became a daily issue. I had always tried to be polite, leaving notes on her windshield, asking her to be mindful of the space. However, Karen, with her signature attitude, ignored the notes, and the problem only escalated. One afternoon, I was running late for work when I noticed her car again parked in my driveway, blocking my path. Frustrated, I called the HOA office, hoping they'd finally intervene. But as usual, they did nothing. I had enough. I wasn't going to let her disrupt my life any longer. That evening, I decided it was time for a little payback. Using my knowledge of a neighborhood security system, I snuck out late at night and manipulated the security cameras surrounding Karen's house. With a couple of well-placed wires and some clever reprogramming, I erased the footage of her car being parked there. But that was just the beginning. The next morning, I noticed that her car was gone. At first, I thought she had finally learned to be considerate. But then I saw something strange. There was no sign of it anywhere in the neighborhood. The usual places where Karen's car would park were all empty, and no one seemed to have seen it. Curious, I ventured out for a walk and overheard some neighbors gossiping about the mysterious disappearance of her car. To my surprise, Karen had called a tow truck, only to find that her car was missing. The tow company had no record of ever picking it up, and the police were called to investigate. As I watched from a distance, I couldn't help but smirk. Karen was furious, but she had no idea that I was behind her little disappearance. The next day, I received a letter from the HOA apologizing for not addressing the issue sooner. It seems Karen had finally learned her lesson, though I never told anyone how her car had truly vanished. Sometimes a little anonymity goes a long way in teaching people respect.